Okay, we're doing Ready Player 1.
Ready Player 2.
Ready Player 2, sorry. Ready Player 2.
Yeah.
Press the start button.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so...
I'll let you go first.
Okay, so Ready Player 2 is picks up after... Actually, not long after the...
It's like immediately after, right?
Yeah, almost
when he
immediately
gets
after.
the message or whatever, like, oh, there's this...
There's an Easter
open
egg
this
thing.
Yeah, is it like door 42?
Door 42 at like the tower or whatever.
Yeah.
And he finds his headset, and the headset's like a neural link.
Oh,
no, yeah. So it like connects you straight to the Oasis, and like you feel and you...
Like you're really there.
Yeah, it's like you're really there. And like you're basically like knocked out, and there's... If you're in it for too long, you can have a seizure and die or something like that.
12 hours.
12 hours, yeah. So Wade implements that, and now everyone uses the O&I things.
Well, there's also like Sam. She's like very much against it, right?
Yeah.
But he kind of like gets a vote on it, like with the
because he's like a
H
controlling factor of Kagura's games.
Yeah, so she's very much against it, but she gets outvoted.
And their whole love story thing peters off very quick in this as well. At the start, they're like, like the entire first book, she's like, I really want to put a lot of funds into trying to save Earth and trying to save the things that we have now, and we want to dial back some of the Oasis stuff. And Wade's just like, you know what? I just want to go on the Oasis, and I want to feel people jerking me off now because I've got this new headset. And I just thought there was like a bit of a departure from his character in the first one. Like he'd learned so much, and for him to just take a double step backwards seemed like, yeah, I guess it seems like people can do that. But
do you have a rating for it?
For a rating for it? I see your rating there. I'll probably give it a 5 as well. And
I'm going 4. I'm lowering my...
See, I'm going... This is going to sound really bad, but Jack Cloudy had better ideas.
Okay.
Jack Cloudy had better creative ideas than Ready Player 2. Ready Player 2 did the exact same thing as the first one. Didn't reinvent the wheel at all. Right. The only thing it did was the next logical step by... Instead of being really interested in video games and everyone used haptic gloves and stuff, you just fell asleep and went into it. It's the Matrix. Yeah, okay. Like, you just took the logical, technological step. And even one step further, where the whole premise was literally about AI and how the brain works. Like, I feel like it was just a logical step to tell the same story and have more references of dumb shit that no one cared about.
Yep.
And it seemed like very personal as well. Like, what was it? It was Purple Rain and that whole planet of Prince. Like, that seemed very personal. Like,
I hated that.
Like, why couldn't you... Like, in the first one, there was lots of varied stuff, and I think you'd pick up more readers by saying, oh, you know, there's the Power Rangers over there. And like, he did. Like, oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, you know what? Oh, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
No one
like,
gives a fuck about Pretty in Pink. Like, who...
Yeah, I get it was like 80s thing, and he's like...
Supposed people do, but...
And I think, but I've seen it. You know, it was alright. But, I feel like...
Do you want a whole side quest about
it? Yeah, it seemed a bit much, didn't it? Like, and I get that, like, it was all about Anorak's guy, and the Anorak guy, and the other person.
Halliday's AI that's had bits of him taken out.
Yeah, and I understand that, and I understand that Halliday created these things for Oggs, whatever, but like... I don't know. Like, I don't know, it didn't resonate well with me. Like the entire thing was good, but not amazing in any way. And I didn't reinvent the wheel for me. Whereas I felt like the first one was fresh with new ideas, and it had those references. Yeah. It was a great quest to go along with. This one was like, oh, we're going to ramp up the scales. That's what it felt like. Oh, we're going to ramp up the scales. You know what? Now they can actually die.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I felt like the threat being in the real world in the first one was more threatening. Like,
yeah.
Oh, you know what? Someone put a fucking bomb in your house and you almost died, and I didn't know about it. Like,
yeah, and your auntie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated this book. I might even go 3. Like, the more I think about it, like, Wade's turned into this creep who
That's
just
a bit of a pussy as well.
Ignores all advice. Like, there's this, when he first gets the O&I, Halliday warns him, like, this might not be good for, like, the planet as a whole, and,
Don't do it,
that
yeah.
you could fuck your brain. And then, like, the next line, he's like, well, if it was bad, Halliday would have warned me. And it's like, he
did
just
warn
said
you,
it.
yeah,
he
yeah.
literally just warned you.
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously the others are keen on it as well. And then they just roll it out. And then he's like this creepy guy who's like broken up with his girlfriend, and he's like spying on all these people's lives, and there's like no repercussions.
He's spying on her as well.
Yeah.
He's spying on her.
Yeah, because he can go into other people's video feed or whatever.
Yeah.
And he does all this weird stuff. And I'm not even going to get into like the kind of what do you call it?
Pseudo sex shit that he like
the virtual signaling stuff. Yeah. He like just throws out non-binary and like, oh, he's tried gay sex through the thing. Like I feel like that was I guess I am getting into it. That was put in there to like kind of fill in these categories of like, oh, this is inclusive now. This is
we've ramped it up, but now we also have gay lesbians and the transgender community. But you know what? If I was going to write this book, you know who I would have had as the main character?
Who?
Those 5 fucking people that were like the low 5 or whatever.
Yeah, and Wade's a bad guy.
No, don't even have Wade as a bad guy. You could have all this other shit that he'd already planned happening in the background, but they're doing something else.
Right.
And like, they're all of a sudden, they're like, holy shit, we can't take the headset off. Like, we're going to die. Like, what do? We got to try and help that guy from the first one. Then there's like a division in there, and you're taking it from like the new hero's point of view.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's weird. It's like it's the only way I can describe it, and I know this is going to sound stupid, but when Digimon had like the first, or like Power Rangers or whatever it is, they had the first lineup of heroes, right? And then when they like sort of retire or whatever and go and sit back down, a new lot of heroes turn up to save the day. But then sometimes like the old heroes turn up and they're like, oh shit, well we were heroes from the first season or whatever. We can still help you out. We can still do this. Why didn't you do that? Why didn't they do that with this? And why couldn't it have been they accidentally stumbled across the AI in the system somewhere, and they had let her loose, and she wanted to die or something like that because she had like an entire brain which was stuck in the computer.
Better.
Like you could have done anything with this, but I think the most exciting idea for me about it, and I know it's probably just on the tick list for you, but was that avatar that would change gender all the time. That was the most exciting creative idea for me.
But
it was glossed over. It was like, oh yeah,
that was fine. But like, he invaded her privacy to find out she was transgender. Right? Yeah.
Like we could have kept that ambiguous and just been like, this is what this is, and like the main character is this, or like you could have had the main character as one of those other ones and had that as a secondary character like H. You know?
Yeah. I just thought like Wade turned into this big creep, and then there were no repercussions for him for it, and then he hasn't changed as a person at all, and then like at the end Samantha's like, oh, I'm wrong, it's all good, let's go off to space with copies of our brain, and then we'll fucking...
Yeah, that's what pissed me off so much at the end. I was like, what, so this is the Bobiverse again?
Yeah it's not good, eh?
And where are they going in space? Because there's no one on that ship, eh? Yeah. It's all fucking robot brains. Like, are they going to get to a planet and be like, oh, there's air here. Oh, it sucks, we can't breathe it.
The only thing I did enjoy, which is, I guess, a question, and is around, like, should technology be withheld to, like, prevent loss of life? Like, should the ONI have been held back or not?
That
because
was
some
interesting,
people will abuse it. And, I don't have an answer for that question.
No,
but that is an interesting thing to ponder, I guess.
It was, yeah. Let me ask you one question. Did you, when he was describing the fight scene between Ogden Morrow and Anorak,
right at the end,
did you give a shit? Like, I don't care without them blowing up these mountains and stuff like a Dragon Ball Z style fight, because none of it exists and none of it is actually.
It wasn't tense. So
yeah, there's absolutely no thing in it.
Like, I pretty much guessed what would happen is, like, he would win, but he would die as well. Yeah, I think it's just a cash grab to make another fucking movie as well.
I feel like it's probably... I don't know, I think that the guy was good and he really enjoyed what he was doing. Because his other book, Armada, was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it.
I don't know if I want to read it.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. You know what? Armada would make a really good film.
Okay.
And the ending of it was fantastic. It has these kind of questions that are actually relevant and are stuff like, should we have technology that is like potentially dangerous? And then it answers that question.
Okay.
I thought it was really good.
Maybe I will.
Do it. I reckon you should do it. But the problem is, I feel like the first book was such a success. They were like, well, we need a second one. Yeah. And he's like, what? Oh, it's never designed for a second one. And then it was like, it's that thing about trying to find something to say when you've already said what you... A lot of music artists have that problem where they blow their load with their first album. They fucking say everything they want to. Like, I was a person who was poor and I tried really hard. Now I did all this stuff and I made it. And now when they've made it, like, oh shit, I've made it, but where's my struggle? That's that whole becoming a champion and not staying motivated to do anything.
I think of this like The Hangover 2. It's just the same shit, but kind of different things happen, but the same things kind of happen.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Okay, well,
wish I never read it.
Sorry, Ernest Cline.
Almost as bad as Jack Cloudy.
Almost as bad as Jack Cloudy. See, the thing about Jack Cloudy is it had interesting ideas. The magic was weird. It was a steampunky world. Vagina boats.
That was pretty cool. I just think
weird shit. That's weird shit.
Birth the ship.
Yeah, birth the ship. Like, had weird creative ideas. Like, that there was a mortal guy, and that like there was like weird chemical things that would turn people into trees if they were like nasty. And
you know what? Actually, maybe Jack Cloudy is better than this.
Maybe it is. But the thing is, story-wise, it was shit. Because it was not...
Just a fucking stunted main cast of characters.
Yeah, without any connectiveness.
The most interesting guy in that was like the fucking sergeant something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if he had a cigar, but he should have. Like.
But like, you can't have great ideas and no story. But this had a good story, but no great ideas, and it was recycled story as well.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, it was the third act structure. It was like sort of geek, gets some motivation, goes on a quest, conquers the quest, good ending. You know, like it was like it had a clear plot, but it was a rehash.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, Ernest Cline.
I'm not.
I liked I liked Armada, mate. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for that one.
Sweet.